Hello everyone and welcome to my Fauxbonichi. So I'm showing you my previous page. It was pretty busy and I had a lot of bleed through, so that prompted me to use a journaling card to cover up the page. So I choose my journaling cards by the ones that are a little difficult for me to use in my project life, either the color or just the format. These vertical ones are a little bit harder for me since I don't use that to pocket very much. But anyway, so I'm covering up the text with some washi tape and my page is a little buckled. So I used this big chipboard piece that I've just had in my stash. It was supposed to be like to make something out of it. And I just use it behind my pages so that I have a flat, sturdy surface to work on, and it helps a lot. So if you know me at all from the Fauxbonichi Journalers group, I have a bunch of alphabet stickers that I'm trying to use up. So here's another one that I'm trying to use. And I almost always use my glue pen here. This is from Zig, to glue down my alpha letters as well as any other small embellishments to make sure they stick. So here I'm just showing you the packaging of some roller stamps that I have, and it actually shows all the images or words that are on each stamp. So I keep those packagings with my stamps so that I could easily choose which phrase I want to use. And this was the first time I actually used this stamp and I pressed too hard, and so I got ink everywhere, and so I'm just going to cover it up and try again. So with these little dainty stamps, just have to put very little pressure so that it touches the paper, and that's it. So I did much better that time, and now I can write my date with a nice clean stamp. So I'm just going to add my journaling here, and I like to mix fonts and just change up my writing just to make it look a little more interesting when there's not too much to write about on the page itself. And if you've seen any of my photos of previous pages, I'm going to be doing a flip through soon for November. But here I'm writing, I'm going to Suju's again, which is a local coffee shop. And I just want to rant a little bit. I've had a bad experience with Starbucks for a long time, in that I've gotten coffee grounds again in my coffee this morning, which I think is a sin if you are making coffee for a living. And also, they never fill my cup all the way. And so I pay an outrageous amount for coffee from them, and I don't even get a full cup. So I prefer local coffee shops like Suju's than Starbucks. So that's just my little rant there. So back to the page, I'm using this tag which I pre-made myself using scraps, and I'll have a video link below of me making a bunch of embellishments using my stamps and stash of scraps. So these come in handy for the Fauxbonichi, which because they're not made for specific projects, so they don't necessarily match anything, but they just kind of there ready to use as embellishments. So it's kind of nice to have these done and ready to go, and nice to use up my scraps. So after I added some twine there, I'm just adding a little more journaling, and as you saw, I used my roller stamp on the tag itself, and then here I'm going to add another roller stamp to finish it off. And I like using these stamps with colored ink, not just black. So to add a finishing touch, I'm just drawing this line around the journaling card to make it look a little more finished. And I just like the way that looks, having that little outline. And then I think I'm done, but then after I show you these close-ups, I add a little more black and white polka dot washi onto the top just to balance it out, since I felt it was a little random just having that black washi on the bottom. So here I'm adding just a little sliver peeking out of the top to balance that black and white. And I think that really kind of finishes the page. So on to the next page. Again, I'm using another journaling card, and this green is probably one of the hardest greens for me to use. I'm not a green person when it comes to my paper crafting, and so I just thought I'll try to use it up here on this page today. So again, I'm using more alpha stickers, which I am modifying here to make a Y. And I'm on a mission to use my stash of alpha letters, so modifying letters is sort of like an art to get the letters that you want so you can use up these alphas and move on. So I'm using some more of my lettering here for the date, and this was the High-Tech C pen fine point, and I love that pen. I got it from Jet Pens. And here's another alpha that I'm trying to use. This is humongous, so it's been in my stash forever, and it's green, which I don't really like. So anyway, I'm glad to put it to use here. And then I also outlined each letter just to dress them up a little bit. And that was a little tedious. It took a little time, but thank goodness it's only 4 letters. And the letters were quite large, so it didn't take that long. But I like the way it makes it pop. So I'm going to add some washi to cover up the text on this journaling card. And so I found this little washi strip that I had that had some green in it, and then this washi as well. Now this star washi is a little bit transparent, so you could still see the words through it. So I'm just going to add another layer of the washi on top of itself, and it looks much better. You can't see the words, and the washi still looks good. So just a little tip there to layer your washi if you want it a little bit more bold. So on this day I didn't have much to write, so one of my go-to things is just to make a little like checklist of what happened at least that day, or what at least I did or got done. So again, just a little tip, if your day's not that exciting, you still did something, even if it's eat lunch, eat dinner, eat breakfast, drink coffee. Make a little checklist and dress it up as much as you can. Here, like I said, I like to make my checks bold and the boxes bold with a little shadow. I try to sketch where I could, just a little something. And you see my checklist is only 2 things. Kind of a typical Monday, not much going on besides work. And then again, I'm going to outline the journaling card to break up the green a little bit. And again, I just think it makes it look more finished. And then I'm going to use another embellishment that I made in advance. This is just a stamp that's been colored in and cut out. And I store my embellishments by color. And so I have a little bag of like yellow things, or yellow embellishments. And so that's where I found that little bird already colored and everything ready to use. So it was simple enough to just use it. And I know I used scraps to stamp that on. So again, a nice way to use up your scraps. So here's one of those tab stickers that I struggle with. I don't know why they're connected. I really don't understand how to use these. So I cut it there so that I could stick it to my page like that, like a tab. And then these are some star stickers I added, just again trying to use up. They were just random colors, as you can see, weird patterns. I don't know how I would use them otherwise, so I just used them all up. And then I just added a few more hand-drawn stars and some dots here to dress up the page a little bit more. And then I finished up the border, tracing out the journaling card here on the bottom, and I like the way that that kind of finishes the page. It makes it look more complete. So that is my second page. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.